everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Trash to Teach.
Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you want a career in IT, cloud computing, DevOps, or enterprise Linux, there is one distribution that gives you a massive head start above all others. It's not Ubuntu, it's not Mint, it's not Arch, it's Fedora. Fedora is the cutting-edge, community-powered Linux distribution backed by Red Hat, the company behind RHEL, which powers the majority of enterprise servers on the planet. When you learn Fedora, you are directly building skills that translate into one of the highest-paying certification paths in all of IT. And the best part? It's completely free, runs beautifully on your computer or inside a virtual machine, and it's more polished than most people realize. In this video, I'm going to walk you through everything downloading Fedora, installing it, and the essential first steps every beginner needs to take to get a fully working professional system. Let's build something great. What is Fedora and why it matters? Before we install anything, you need to understand why Fedora is special, because this context will change how you approach everything in this video. Here's the relationship you need to know. Fedora is upstream of Red Hat Enterprise Linux RHEL. What that means is this: new features, new technologies, and new tools appear in Fedora first. Red Hat tests them there, stabilizes them, and then ships them into RHEL, the enterprise product used by governments, banks, hospitals, and Fortune 500 companies worldwide. So when you use Fedora daily, you are using the same package manager, the same system configuration, the same SELinux security framework, and the same underlying architecture as enterprise RHEL systems. Red Hat certifications, the RHCSA and RHCE, are consistently ranked among the highest-paying IT certifications in the world. Fedora Experience is the best free preparation for those exams that exists. Fedora also releases a new version every 6 months and supports each version for 13 months. This means you always have access to the latest Linux kernel, the latest GNOME desktop, and the most modern tools often a year before Ubuntu gets them. This is not a beginner distro in the condescending sense. It's a professional tool that happens to be very accessible. Let's get it installed. Downloading Fedora. Open your browser and go to getfedora.org. This is the official download page. You'll see several editions listed. Let me explain the main ones quickly. Fedora Workstation. This is what we want today. It's the full desktop experience with GNOME, designed for developers and power users. This is our choice. Fedora Server for running headless servers. No desktop environment. Fedora IoT and Fedora Core OS for containers and edge computing. Advanced use cases. Click Download Fedora Workstation. As of 2025, we're on Fedora 41. The ISO file is approximately 2.1 gigabytes, much smaller than Ubuntu's download, which is one of the things I love about Fedora. While that downloads, a quick note for those running this inside a virtual machine: everything in this video works identically whether you're installing on bare metal or inside Hyper-V, VirtualBox, or VirtManager. Fedora is an excellent VM guest. Installing Fedora. Boot your machine from the Fedora ISO. If you're in a virtual machine, mount it as your boot media. If you're on physical hardware, write it to a USB drive using Balena Etcher or Fedora Media Writer, which you can download directly from getfedora.org. Select Start Fedora Workstation Live. Fedora boots into a live environment first. This means you can try it before installing, which is a thoughtful touch. After the live desktop loads, you'll see a welcome dialog. Click Install to Hard Drive. This launches Anaconda Fedora's installer. It looks different from Ubuntu's installer, but it's very logical once you understand the layout. Anaconda uses a hub and spoke model. You see the main screen with several options. Items with warning icons need your attention before installation can proceed. First, keyboard layout. Select your language and click Done. Time and date. Select your region and city. Enable network time to keep your clock always accurate. Click Done. Installation destination. This is the most important screen. Select your disk. For most people doing a clean install inside a VM, choose automatic partitioning. Fedora will create an optimal layout using LVM logical volume management, which is exactly what enterprise RHEL systems use. Another skill you're passively building. Click Done. Everything is configured. Click Begin Installation. Fedora is now installing. This takes approximately 5 to 12 minutes depending on your hardware speed. Click Finish Installation and restart your machine. On first boot, you'll see a setup wizard. Set your privacy preferences, connect to Wi-Fi if needed, and create your user account. And there it is. Fedora Workstation. Clean, fast, professional. Now let's configure it properly. First thing, update the system. The very first thing you do on any fresh Linux install, update everything. On Fedora we use DNF dandified YUM instead of APT, which Ubuntu uses. DNF is faster, smarter, and handles dependencies more elegantly. This is one of the key differences you'll notice coming from Ubuntu. Open the terminal. On Fedora, press the super key, that's your Windows key, and search for terminal. Type this command, sudo DNF update-y. DNF will calculate dependencies, show you what's being updated, and install everything. The -y flag automatically confirms all prompts. Here's something worth noting on Ubuntu, you run two commands, apt update, then apt upgrade. On Fedora, DNF update does both in a single command. It refreshes repositories and upgrades packages together, more efficient. After updates finish, restart your system. Sudo reboot. Good. Your Fedora system is now fully current. Enable RPM Fusion repositories. Step 2. Enable RPM Fusion repositories. This is the Fedora equivalent of Ubuntu's restricted extras, and it's essential. By default, Fedora only includes fully open-source, license-free software. RPM Fusion adds 2 additional repositories, free and non-free, that include software Fedora can't ship by default, like media codecs, NVIDIA drivers, and certain applications. Run these 2 commands, sudo dnf install /https://download1.rpmfusion.org/free/fedora/rpmfusion-free-release- open parenthesis rpm-e% fedora close parenthesis .noarch.rpm, then sudo dnf install /https://download1.rpmfusion.org/non-free/fedora/rpm-fusion-non-free-release- open parenthesis rpm-e% fedora close parenthesis .noarch.rpm. Now install the media codecs that give you MP3, MP4, MKV, AVI support. Sudo DNF install GStreamer1 -plugins -openbrace bad -- comma good -- comma base close brace GStreamer1 -plugin -open H264 GStreamer1 -lib AV - exclude equals GStreamer 1 -plugins -bad -free -devil -y, and install the full ffmpeg library for complete multimedia support. Sudo DNF install ffmpeg -- allowerasing -yi. Your Fedora system can now play every media format. Videos, music, streams, everything works. Install essential software. Step 3. Install the essential tools every Fedora user needs from day 1. Development tools, the Fedora equivalent of Ubuntu's build-essential. Sudo DNF group install. Development tools -y. Notice we used DNF group install. This installs an entire group of related packages at once. Very powerful. Install curl, wget, and git. Sudo DNF install curl, wget git -y. Install VLC for media playback. Make sure RPM Fusion is enabled first or this won't work. Sudo DNF install VLC-y. Install htop for system monitoring. Sudo DNF install htop-y. Install timeshift for system snapshots. Sudo DNF install timeshift-y. Now let's install Flatpak support. Fedora already has it built in, but let's add the Flathub repository, which gives access to thousands of modern applications. Flatpak remote add dash dash if dash not dash exists. Flathub https://dl.flathub.org/repo/flathub.flatpak repo. Flatpak is Fedora's preferred way to install desktop applications. It's sandboxed, secure, and always up to date. Think of it as a universal app store that works on any Linux distribution. GNOME customization. Step 4. Customize GNOME to work the way you want. Fedora ships with the purest, most up-to-date GNOME experience of any distribution. No modifications, no tweaks, pure upstream GNOME. This is actually a badge of honor in the Linux world. Install GNOME Tweaks to unlock hidden settings. Sudo DNF install GNOME-tweaks-y. Install the extension manager for GNOME extensions. Sudo DNF install GNOME-extensions-app-y, or install it via Flatpak. Flatpak install flathub.matjacoman.extensionmanager-y. Open GNOME Tweaks. Recommended settings for beginners. Under Appearance, switch to dark mode. Under Top Bar, enable date and weekday so your clock shows full information. Under Windows, enable Center New Windows. Open Extension Manager. Install these two extensions immediately. Dash to Dock adds a permanent dock to your desktop for fast app switching. App Indicator shows system tray icons for apps that need them. Your Fedora desktop now looks and feels like a professional workstation. Understanding DNF, your superpower. Step 5. Understand DNF. This is where Fedora users separate themselves from casual Linux users, and where your RHEL skills start building. Here are the DNF commands you'll use constantly. Search for any package, sudo, DNF search package name. Get information about a package before installing, sudo DNF info. Package name, install a package, sudo DNF install package name dash, y remove a package, sudo DNF remove package name dash y, update everything. Sudo DNF update dash y, list all installed packages. See DNF list installed, check what a package provides. Incredibly useful, DNF provides file name, clean up cached data to free disk space, sudo DNF clean all. Here's the critical thing. On RHEL systems at work, you'll use these exact same DNF commands. The syntax is identical. Firewall and security basics. Step 6. Understand Fedora's built-in security. This is where Fedora genuinely outshines most other distributions. Fedora ships with 2 enterprise-grade security tools enabled by default, Firewall and SELinux. Both of these are also used on RHEL enterprise systems, so learning them here is career gold. Check your firewall status, sudo firewall-cmd -state. It should say running. Your firewall is active out of the box. No configuration needed. Check SELinux status, SE status. You should see SELinux status, enabled and current mode enforcing. This means SELinux is actively protecting your system. SELinux is a mandatory access control system that limits what every process on your system can do, even if it gets compromised. It was developed by the NSA and donated to the Linux kernel. It's the reason RHEL is trusted for government and military systems. New Linux users sometimes disable SELinux when they hit a permissions issue. Do not do this. Learn to work with it, because on an enterprise RHEL job, disabling SELinux is not an option. Fedora gives you SELinux experience for free every single day. Here's your complete Fedora First Steps checklist. Downloaded and installed Fedora Workstation, updated the system with DNF, enabled RPM Fusion, and installed media codecs, installed essential development tools and apps, added Flathub for thousands more applications, customized GNOME with tweaks and extensions, mastered the core DNF commands, understood firewalled and SELinux security. You now have a fully working, professionally configured Fedora system, and more importantly, you've started building real enterprise Linux skills that translate directly into IT careers, DevOps roles, and Red Hat certifications. Every day you use Fedora, you're practicing. Every DNF command you run, every SELinux policy you encounter, every firewall rule you check, that's real experience accumulating. If you want to go even deeper, my next video covers how Fedora compares to Ubuntu for IT careers, and which one you should be learning based on the job you want. Link is in the description. Hit like if Fedora surprised you today. Subscribe for more Linux and virtualization content every week, and drop a comment, are you using Fedora for learning, daily use, or career prep? I read everything. See you in the next one.